Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable of a day for you. College football week 9 continues. We do have one play for Friday night. Then we'll get into the Saturday slate. We'll start off with the Friday night games first. It's going to be Florida Atlantic. We'd like this one here in particular over Charlotte. If you've watched any Charlotte games, which unfortunately we have, watching that offense is like pulling your teeth out slowly instead of ripping off the Band-Aid. They are not good at all. Total of 44.5. Florida Atlantic minus 3.5. Charlotte, I'm going to tell you right now, is not good. Florida Atlantic is better. I don't know if they're that much better, but they are better than the Charlotte team because they are absolutely just painful to watch. So they've had some games where they've had, nothing scores at half, but typically they get beat and they don't put up any points, and it's pretty easy to lose when you don't score. Not saying that, you can't, they could win 3-0, maybe. If they could hold somebody, they shut somebody out. It's so hard to do in today's football, but we do like Florida Atlantic in this particular matchup. It was kind of a no-brainer, I thought, for us. Minus a half first quarter, minus 2.5 first half, and minus 3.5 for the game. So one more time, Florida Atlantic, minus a half first quarter, minus 2.5 first half, and minus 3.5 for the game. So we will get into the Saturday slate. First game up, Oklahoma at Lawrence, Kansas. So 9.5 point favor for Oklahoma on the road. Total currently at 66. This has went up. I expect it to go up one more time as Oklahoma overs are one of the favorite bets out there for Joes and pros. But we did take Oklahoma in this particular matchup, minus 2.5 first quarter, minus 5.5 first half, and minus 9.5 for the game. We also like the over 14.5 total first quarter. I know it's 14.5, but we're going to have to figure out how to get home. And over 32.5 total first half, and over 65 for the game. So that Oklahoma game one more time going against KU. Oklahoma minus 2.5 first quarter. Oklahoma minus 5.5 first half and minus 9.5 for the game. Over 14.5 total first quarter. Over 32.5 total first half, and over 65 total for the game. 66 still okay there. I think this game probably ends like 40-30, if I'm being really honest. So you probably got a little bit of leg there to take the over in that particular matchup. Next game up, Florida State, Wake Forest. We are currently don't have anything on this game. Indiana, Penn State, we currently don't have anything on this game. Same thing for UMass and Army. Same thing for South Carolina, Texas A&M. Same thing for Maryland Northwestern. And then we get into the 9 a.m. slate, Houston at Kansas State in Manhattan. Kansas State, 17.5 point favorite. Total has went up. It is now at 60. We do like this particular matchup here. We just like the over. We got this at 58 2 days ago, so we can kind of see where this is going. K-State overs that hit at an alarming rate. So K-State, Houston, over 13.5 total first quarter, over 29.5 total first half, and over 58 total for the game. So one more time in that Houston K-State game. Houston, K-State, over 13.5 total first quarter, over 29.5 total first half, and over 58 for the game. Houston does not have much defense. K-State's defense has not been good as well. That's why the over there. And both teams can put up points on the board, and I don't think either team's going to have a problem putting up points. It should be, I don't know how it's not 48-24 or more. So in that particular matchup there. West Virginia, UCF, we are not touching that one. Tulsa, SMU, no wagers on that game. UConn, Boston College, no wagers in that game. Next game up, Western Michigan at Eastern Michigan. A little rivalry game there. Eastern Michigan, currently a 2.5 point dog, total of 48 in that particular matchup. We do like Eastern Michigan here. We like them better at the 3 number, but the 2.5, I understand. So Eastern Michigan plus a half first quarter. Eastern Michigan plus a half first half, and plus 3 for the game. One more time, Eastern Michigan plus a half first quarter, plus a half first half, and plus 3 for the game. Next game up on the slate, Clemson, North Carolina State. We're not on that one. Memphis, North Texas, we're not on that one. We are on the next one, which is Georgia, Florida. Georgia, this is a neutral site game. Georgia currently a 14.5 point favorite, total at 49.5. And I will remind you, Georgia is actually our best bet for week 9. So Georgia minus 14.5 for the game, minus 3.5 first quarter, and minus 7.5 first half. So one more time, Georgia minus 3.5 first quarter, minus 7.5 first half, and minus 14.5 for the game. We are not on Oregon, Utah. it's hard not to play that game and take Utah plus the points. I just think something's fishy there. Something smells a little bit in the water, so to speak. BYU, Texas, though, we are on. This line has moved a bunch. I don't understand the big move here. Quinn Ewers has been named out for a couple of days. It was at 17.5, and all of a sudden Malik Murphy is going to be the quarterback, and now it's at 20. So I apologize if you guys don't follow along on the Google Sheets and didn't get this one earlier. I don't know about the 20, but we did like the 17.5. We'll give you our plays on this matchup. Texas minus 4.5 first quarter, Texas minus 10.5 first half, and Texas minus 17.5 for the game. So one more time, Texas minus 4.5 first quarter, minus 10.5 first half, and minus 17.5 for the game. BYU is not good. Do not look at that Texas Tech game. They won by 2 touchdowns. They had 5 turnovers. Texas Tech got themselves killed in that game. BYU had nothing to do with it. When you get 4 or 5 short fields, you should win the game. That's what Texas Tech gave them. If you look at the rest of the BYU's games, you will understand why Texas is such a huge favorite here. It's been pitiful. BYU, first of all, anytime you have Slovis at quarterback, and I've made this the last few years, you just bet against them, and you're going to be up 75% of the time. Occasionally, they're going to sneak one like they did last week against Texas Tech. But trust me, BYU is not good, and they are really not good on the road. So we are, like I said, Texas is definitely the play for us there. Pittsburgh, Notre Dame, we're going to pass in that particular matchup. That smells like, it doesn't smell good, put it that way. Duke, Louisville, we're staying away from that one. Michigan State, Minnesota. If you don't like watching scoring, make sure you tune into that one. We're not on that one. Virginia, Miami, Florida, we're not on that game. Purdue, Nebraska is another Big Ten snoozer. We're not on that game. Miami, Ohio versus Ohio. We're not on that one. Mississippi State, Auburn. We're not touching that. Southern Miss, Appalachian State. Make sure you check the Google Sheets on this one. I think we might have to go play Appalachian State. Southern Miss is just absolutely pitiful. Iowa State, Baylor. Game in Waco. Iowa State currently a 3-point favorite. Total of 47. We do like the under in this particular matchup. So we're staying with the under there. So Iowa State under 9.5 total first quarter. Iowa State Baylor under 24.5 total first half. And Iowa State under 47.5 for the game. So one more time, unders all the way around for us here. Iowa State under total first quarter 9.5, under 24.5 total first quarter or first half, and under 47.5 for the game. East Carolina, UTSA, we're not on. USC has been a total disappointment so far against Cal. We're not on. Tulane, Rice, we're not on. We'd heavily lean Tulane if we were going to play that one. South Alabama, Louisiana, Lafayette, we're not on. Arkansas State, ULM, we're not on. Wyoming, Boise State, pass. Marshall, Coastal Carolina, pass. Washington, Stanford, we really want to play Washington here. But they have had just some god-awful cover games here as of late, so we'll stick off of there. We are on Tennessee, Kentucky. Kentucky, a 3.5-point home dog, total at 51. I think the wrong team is favored here. I wholeheartedly believe that, or it should be a pick 'em. So we are going to take Kentucky plus a half first quarter, Kentucky plus 2.5 first half, and Kentucky plus 3.5 for the game. One more time, Kentucky plus a half first quarter, plus 2.5 first half, and plus 3.5 for the game. Kentucky can stop the run, and that's what Tennessee does. They cannot throw the ball. Until Joe Milton can throw the ball more than 10 yards down the field, I will not believe in that Tennessee team. He is not that good. He is definitely no Hendon Hooker when they had that fantastic offense and group of receivers last year. So don't be fooled by the Tennessee team you saw last year. That team does not nearly run that offense as efficiently. Air Force, Colorado State, we're staying away from. Troy, Texas State, we don't have anything on. Ohio State, Wisconsin, though we do. Ohio State, currently 14.5-point favorite, heading in Madison, 45.5 total. Iowa's defense is pretty good. And I think Wisconsin scored like 3. Ohio State's defense is better. And somehow this total's at 45.5. I don't quite understand it, to be really honest. So under is the way to go here. And Wisconsin's defense is pretty good. And Ohio State's offense is nowhere near what it has been. This could be a 31-0 game. I completely can see that happening. I just do not see the game going over. First of all, I think Wisconsin would have to score 14 points to get home, and 14 or more, and I don't think they can get there. So Ohio State under 9.5 total first quarter, under 23.5 total first half, and under 45.5 total for the game. So one more time, Ohio State under 9.5 total first quarter, under 23.5 total first half, and under 45.5 total for the game. Next game up, let's see on the list, is Colorado UCLA. We're going to pass that one. There's obviously been a bunch of Colorado money coming in as that line has moved from 17 to 15.5. Ole Miss Vanderbilt we're staying away from. North Carolina Georgia Tech. We think this should be a bounce back game for North Carolina, but after that pitiful loss to Virginia, it's hard. What are they bouncing back from, right? So on that one there. So ASU Washington State, we've been watching all week. I think ASU is going to give them some problems, and only being a 5.5 point dog, the game's going to be close. Cincinnati, Oklahoma State, we're passing Old Dominion, James Madison. Line's currently around 20.5 to 21, depending on where you get it. James Madison should blow the doors off of Old Dominion and win this game by 30 plus. Total currently at 49. Obviously, we're not expecting Old Dominion to score much, if at all. So James Madison minus 6.5 first quarter. James Madison minus 10.5 first half. And James Madison minus 20.5. So once again, James Madison minus 6.5 first half, or first quarter. I can't talk. James Madison minus 10.5 first half. And James Madison minus 20.5 for the game. Then we get into Oregon State, Arizona is actually our last play. Game in Tucson, Oregon State currently a 3-point favorite. I'm not quite sure why they're only 3. Personal opinion, they are one of the better teams in the soon-to-be gone Pac-12. So I'm not quite sure. I know Arizona's had a run of weeks where they've kept games close. So are we giving them all the stars because they kept games close? I mean, I really don't. I don't know. Like if that's what we're banking this on. I just currently don't know. Like I said, Oregon State, in my opinion, the reason why Oregon State's good is called the trenches. Offensive line and defensive line are strengths of their team. They run the ball extremely well. I think they're going to take a little bit of potency out of that Arizona offense. Maybe that helps a little bit. They are a 3-point favorite, total at 56. We're staying away from the total, but we do like the game quite a bit. So Oregon State minus 0.5 first quarter, Oregon State minus 1.5 first half, and Oregon State minus 3 for the game. So one more time on that one, Oregon State over Arizona, minus 0.5 first quarter, minus 1.5 first half, and minus 3 for the game. So at the end of this episode, do make sure you check out a link to the Google Sheets. In the comments section, you will see those. So make sure you check that out. There are 4 sheets in the Google Sheets for you to look at. Sheet 1 is football last year if you just want to see all the results. Sheet 2 is baseball this year, including all the World Series picks. Sheet 3 is going to be football, which is going to include college and pro. You can see what we've done so far this season. And sheet 4 is basketball. So if you like betting the 3 majors for the most part, college and pro on both sides, this is probably, those are some good tools to look at. And should give you a lot of ideas to match them up with your bets. So when you do get in there, it'll show you the bet place, the juice it was taken at, how many units, and what book. And then also once the games are over, you're able to see the results. Like last night on the Georgia Southern game where we swept first quarter, first half, and game on the over, and also on the game itself as Georgia Southern coming through with a big win there. So we've had a good week to start off this week on that particular one, besides for the FIU debacle, but nobody's perfect, right? If it was, they'd be shutting down the casinos immediately and not allowing anything to happen. So make sure you check out those Google Sheets when you get some time. Also, make sure you subscribe and get notifications to the YouTube channel. So when we drop our bets, you get those first. It makes it really simple once you subscribe. And if you get notifications turned on, even better. So notifications, as soon as we drop bets, they'll get notified to your phone. Then you'll be able to get in there. If you just subscribe, it's really simple as well. You just look at your subscriptions tab down in YouTube. You'll see sports bets for free with a dot next to it once we've launched new bets. So make sure to get on there. Also, once you get into the Google Sheets once, you should be able to pull those up and view those at any time. Makes life really simple to match them up with your bets. So make sure you do that when you get some time as well. Make sure to subscribe, look at the sheets, get all the information that you need that we put out there. I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and look forward to seeing you on the next episode.